Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Zarina. It is time to do a monthly book wrap up. It was much better than June. And I also realized it only later that in my previous video, I said that I only read one book and I didn't even mention what it was because it was so awful. The book was Dead of Night by Darcy someone. I don't even remember why I had that book. I listened to it on Libby and I don't even know why I put that book on a hold because I don't know the author. I didn't see any recommendation. I don't know. I don't remember. Anyways, but yeah, I read that and it was awful. It was not good in the slightest. So I guess I didn't even want to talk about that. But this month I had interesting books, so let's talk about them. So I finished reading 6 books and I soft DNF'd 4 books. So let's start. Oh, I finished reading 7 books actually, but the 7th book is a reread. So there we go. So the first book I finished in July was Wool by Hugh Howey. And I started that like 2 months ago, like in May. And it was so awful. It was so boring. I gave that 2 stars, but I got told by multiple people that the book was too slow, but the show is actually good. So when I have the time, I will watch the show. Sometimes at the beginning of the chapter, it was like weeks later, days later, and sometimes a single day would take place over multiple chapters, and consistency where. So I didn't like that. And then next, I'm not going to talk much about that. Next book I finished was One of Us is Dead by Geneva Rose. This is, I think, my 3rd book by her, and this was actually really good. I gave that 4 stars, and I liked it more because of, how do you say that, descriptiveness of it. Like, I don't like when the book goes too much into flowery stuff, but when you don't describe your characters properly, how am I supposed to differentiate between the characters? Such as, I would say, Atlas 6. Most of them were like the same. Or Lucy Foley. I have read 2 books by her, and especially the males, they all are the same to me. I don't see any difference between the characters. I'm not saying that they need to be different races or different sexual orientation. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, people need to have their own personality. I need to believe that this person exists outside of this scenario. Then I finished reading The Devil Wears Scrubs. This was a short comedic novel, which I don't even know what the genre would be. I listened to it, and the audiobook started with a short comedic novel by Frida McFadden. And I was like, okay. It was like 6 hours or so. And I actually loved it. Like, there was no plot, just vibes. And I don't know, I say this every single time. I love Frida McFadden's writing. It's so easy, so flowy. Almost every character is just so stupid that you hate them, but also relate to them. I don't know. Anyways, and yeah, there was no plot at all, and the ending was just there. It was just, it felt like Frida McFadden was going somewhere with it, but then it was a deadline, so she had to stop, and she did. It was like, what happened? Even though it was like that, I really liked it. I gave that 4 stars. And next, I finished listening to Song of Six Realms by Judy I. Lin. I was so disappointed with this one. I love the book cover. Now, I do judge books by their covers. If the cover is pretty, I'm going to assume that the writing is so pretty and everything else I will like about the book. But more often than not, I am disappointed. Yeah, I did not like that. It started really good, but then it turned into a mush, and I couldn't even care anymore about anyone. and it was the biggest waste of my time. I'm sorry, but not really. It was a good background noise, but other than that, I don't remember anything else other than Chin, that there was the musical instrument that was in the book. But I'm sorry, it's going to be a spoiler if you want to read it. So when I don't have this, whatever icon I'm going to put on the screen, when it's done, you can unmute. Like, mute the video now and unmute when this icon is out of the screen. So I'm starting the spoiler. You've been warned. I just hate when the dead characters doesn't stay dead. It is already widely known that if you don't see a dead body, 99.99% they are going to come back. They're not dead. But still, every single time when they come back, I'm like, really? Really? You didn't have anything else to go? Like, somebody died and they came back and spoiler over. And that spoilery part was not even the worst part of the book. The worst part was the monotonous plot, and yes, Queen give us nothing vibe characters, anyways. And there was also, is this a spoiler? Again, spoiler, this main character was being a bitch to this one girl, and she was being so so naive and the kind person to everybody else. I was like, what is this? Like, why? But then by the end, that one person turns out to be the bad guy, so it's fine. It's fine that she was a bitch to her. I don't know. I don't get that. But yeah, I didn't like that book. Even though I didn't like it, I gave that 3 stars. I don't know why. I guess maybe it's because of the pacing of the book. Like, this is not my thing, but maybe somebody else may like it. I guess that's why I did not give less than 3 stars. I don't know. And then I finished rereading Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. If you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I am doing a hate piece on Archer's Voice. I'm filming the video in parts because it's gonna be so long and I cannot do that in one go. Anyways, the setup is still in my room. I need to go back to that, but right now I can't do that. So I'm just taking whatever time I have during the day and filming a little bit for that video. But yeah, it's gonna be, I hopefully it's gonna be out in August. When I first read The Archer's Voice, I gave that 2 stars, but this time around I gave that 1 star because, first of all, when I first read it, I did not have much experience in reading. Like, I was really new and I was like more forgiving. But now that I have read so much and by so many different people, I can say actually that was not good writing. I think maybe if this one was written by somebody else, maybe I would have liked it because there was something to happen. There was something to talk about. But all she did talk about was sex, and I do not appreciate that. You can do that when you don't have a like huge trauma on the background going on, I finished listening to Wanna Know a Secret by Frida McFadden. I actually finished that while I was commuting. I finished that yesterday. It's Frida McFadden. I really liked it. I very much disliked the ending. The epilogue part was like additional part to the main story, which the epilogue was not there. It would still stay the same. The whole, like, it was not a huge twist revelation. There was a revelation of sorts, but it did not change much in the story. But anyways, I love that. The only thing I did not like is, should I say it? I'm not sure. When we are reading from the first person view and the first person is the bad guy, and they act innocent, it doesn't make sense really, because like they are thinking to themselves. If they were saying those things to somebody else and acting innocent, and we believe them at first, but when you, after the revelation, when you go back and you can see, like you read between the lines, that is one thing. But when they think to themselves and act all innocent and knowing nothing, this is not great. I think, like, it's not good. Like, I don't think that's a good thing. That same thing happened with one of Geneva Rose's books. I'm not gonna say the name because, anyways, you'll know. And here it starts with one person view and then it goes to another person's view. I didn't like that part, but that's okay. With Frida McFadden's books, I can look past all of those because I have so much fun listening to her books or reading her books. So I will always look past that. I didn't give that, I gave that 4 stars. It's not 5 stars. She always gets 3.5 or 4 stars for me. Or sometimes 5 too, but yeah. So these were the books that I finished, but I have DNF'd 4 books. Those are soft DNF'd, some because of the library, like I ran out of time. Some are because I just don't want to do that right now. So the first is Renegades by Marissa Mayer. I started to listening to that, and to be honest, I got to the second chapter and I was a little bit annoyed at the storyline, so I DNF'd it, but I am going to come back to it because right now I'm not doing mentally well either, so maybe that is the factor that also affects how I feel about the book. But when I feel better, I'll go back to it. And the second book that I soft DNF'd was Red Rising because my library time, like I ran out of time, but I'll get that soon again and I'll finish it. To be honest, I'm not really into that story. Like I don't care that much, but because I am halfway through, I'll finish it. And it's not the worst thing, but it's not the best. It's just there. It's not like Wool, but it's not like Scythe either. So that's that. And then I started Midnight Circus, but I couldn't. I only got to the 50th%, I think. I don't know why I stopped, but I'm like not even the 50th. Anyways, I got to a point and then I had to stop. I don't remember why, but yeah, I had to stop, and I am very much interested in that book. I will go back to that as soon as possible. And the last book I soft DNF'd was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I have read 2 books by her and I have loved them both. Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is one of my favorite standalone. The second favorite is Gallant by also V.E. Schwab. I've said this in one of my other videos. It is difficult to write a fantasy just as a standalone. But yeah, both Gallant and Invisible Life of Addie LaRue are like chef's kiss. They are amazing. And Darker Shade of Magic is like three book series, and I think I DNF'd it because my TBR was getting too long and I didn't want to have this much when I had like 4 more other books, and if I start this I need to add the other 2 to my TBR, so I don't want to do that. That is why that's a DNF, a soft DNF. I'm gonna go back to it as soon as possible. So that is all for this month. I don't have any TBR for the next month. I want to finish the things that I DNF'd and the things that I don't have any more holds. Like I have only 1 hold on Libby. I don't want to do more because when I get the hold, I feel like I need to drop everything and finish that because I need to give it back. So I need to finish that first. So that is why I'm not going to take any other books from Libby. And yeah, I'll try to finish whatever I started. That is all for this month. And And thank you so much for watching. Follow me on Instagram if you're not doing it already. I'm more active on my stories over there. And let me know what was your favorite book that you read this month. For me, none of the books were 5 star. I had 5 stars this month. At least the thrillers that I read was fine. So there's that. But yeah, that is all from me. Thank you so much for sticking until the end, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.